Greetings, Rabbi Boxed here with my Torah portion of this week. This week we are in Parashat Korach from the book of Numbers, chapter 16:1 through chapter 18:32. The sort of overall theme of this week's Torah portion: leadership, rebellions, and punishments. And the outline is as follows. Part 1, the rebellions. Korach's challenge to the Aaronite priesthood, Datan and Abiram's mutiny against Mosaic leadership, Korach's test, Datan and Abiram's punishment, and then Korach's punishment. The second section, the aftermath, the transformation of the fire pans, more rebellion, plague and expiation, and then Aaron's budding rod. The last part are the priestly responsibilities, the priests and Levites, the gifts, and the tithes. So in the rebellions, I'm reading a commentary in the women's commentary from the CCAR on page 895, which is in Parashat Korach. Two distinct groups from two separate tribes rise up together against Moses and Aaron. Because of the separate nature of the two rebellions and their ensuing punishments, scholars suspect that these were originally independent, unconnected stories. The story is strengthened by Deuteronomy 11:6, which refers to Datan and Abiram without, however, mentioning Korach or any Levites. Korach is a first cousin of Moses and Aaron, and certain Levite representatives challenge Aaron's exclusive right to the priesthood, whereas Datan and Abiram question Moses' leadership abilities. So Korach's challenge to the Aaronite priesthood. Korach's challenge to the priesthood can be explained by his own Levite lineage, which the narrator of the Torah pointedly notes. Korach protests to Moses that all Levites should be considered holy enough for the priesthood. And then Moses responds to Korach by saying, come morning, Adonai will make known who is God's and who is holy, and will grant him direct access. The one whom God has chosen will be granted access. Do this. You, Korach, and all your band, take fire pans, and tomorrow put fire in them, and lay incense on them before Adonai. Then the candidate whom Adonai chooses, he shall be the Holy One. You have gone too far, sons of Levi. And so, of course, what happens? They do this, and the next day God chooses Aaron's pans, not the pans of Korach. And then, of course, God appears, and God speaks to the community and say, withdraw from about the abodes of Korach, Datan, and Abiram. And he does. And Moses said, by this you shall know that it was Adonai who sent me to do all these things, that they are not of my own devising. If these people's death is that of all humankind, if their lot is humankind's common fate, it was not Adonai who sent me. But if Adonai brings about something unheard of, so that the ground opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into Sheol, you shall know that these fellows have spurned Adonai. And of course, as soon as he does that, stops speaking, the ground opens up and swallows them. And that's the story of Korach. We keep going, and we find one of the most interesting parts of the entire Torah, I believe, and that is the plague and expiation as a result of Korach's rebellion. As in the incineration of Korach and his company, this punishment comes directly from God. As proof, the human leaders intervene on behalf of the community to save them from God's wrath. demonstrating both that God is the one who has determined the punishment and enacted it, and that they are God's legitimate human representatives. So clearly it was significant, to say the least. We have the priestly responsibilities and what happens, as far as what their gifts are going to be, what the rest of the community is to give to the Levites to sustain them, since they do not own land. Laws concerning the tithes are also detailed here. And the Torah portion ends with the following: V'amarta alehem beharimichem et chelbo mimenu v'nechshav lelevim kitvuat goren v'chitvuat yakev. Say to them further, when you have removed the best part from it, we're talking about the gifts that are due, the you Levites may consider it the same as the yield of threshing floor or vat. You and your households may eat it anywhere, for it is your recompense, for your services in the tent of meeting. You will incur no guilt through it, once you have removed the best part from it. But you must not profane the sacred donations of the Israelites, lest you die. And that is the end of Parashat Korach. And we will begin next week with more of the book of Numbers in Parashat Chukat. Shabbat Shalom.